Yesterday we talked about how there's 4 different categories. 2 pertaining to the body level of a mitzvah, the action-based level of the mitzvah, and 2 corresponding to the kavanah, the intention, the soul of the mitzvah. And this is really higher kavanah, higher intent, versus a lower form of intent, human versus animal. And so here we're not trying to say that one is deficient and one is superior. In Tanya, we're always just trying to be intellectually honest and spiritually honest and be able to understand that the things have different advantages, and therefore we can understand where I'm at right now and also where I want to be. It's really a spiritual roadmap. So understanding that I'm here and I want to get there, there's no judgment in that. It's truly just a realistic approach. So this is intellectually generated emotion versus innate emotion. So let's look at the first level. This is human kavana, right? It's called corresponding to like the human soul's unique ability. And this is the human soul's unique ability to have head over heart, which is the ability that I can contemplate something and actually have the dust, have the emotional integration where it affects the way that I feel. Meaning if I contemplate on Hashem's awesomeness, God's awesomeness, and all the blessings God's given me, and all the healthy days of my life that I've had, and all the birthday parties, and all the moments of connection and goodness, and all the good food I ate, and you just go on, like, think about all the good God's given me, I'm going to start feeling a love in my heart for God. You know, a gratitude, a thanks, or even a sense of awe of how all the good I've experienced in my life is coming from this source. And even the things that seemed not good and how I got to see how they were good later, right? Just really like this contemplation that builds my awe and my love for God. So that is this human soul level of contemplation, because that's a unique human ability, is head over heart. I can think something and that will affect the way I feel. So one of the morning blessings we say every single day corresponds to this. We say, Zoketh Kefufim, who straightens the bent. And this is reflecting the idea that we are the only creation that walks consistently on 2 feet, meaning that every other creature, their head and their heart are on the same level. But with human beings, at least, most creatures, but with human beings, consistently our head is over our heart, right? That we're standing upright. And spiritually, that has an advantage, because that means that my head, my contemplation, this rational aspect of my being, can have an effect on how I actually feel. I mean, I cannot always control how I feel, but I can control what I think. And what I think is going to have a huge effect on how I feel. It's going to give me that control that I want. And the expression for this in the Zohar Kodesh is Moach Shalita al Halev. The mind rules over the heart. The other level of Kavana, which is more the animal soul, which is more instinctual, is when a person can arouse through their contemplation on God's greatness their inherent love for God. Inheritance that we got from our patriarchs. So inheritance is not something that you work for. It's a gift. It's a bonus. It's a great thing, but it's not the same level of something that you worked for on your own. So in the first level, which is more that human quality of I did the work of intellectually contemplating something until I worked on myself to the point that I actually feel it. Versus here, I'm not creating something. I'm just tapping into what was already given to me. So as a Jew, I have an innate love for God, which is the Ahavas Misuteres, the innate love, which is a gift from our forefathers and foremothers. And from that gift, I can now have this spiritual advantage. At any moment, I can tap into this and feel something for God. But it's not worked for. It's innate. It's inherent, which is much more of how an animal uses the innate abilities that was given to it. So too, I'm tapping into my innate abilities, but I'm not creating or generating something new. And so we're saying this is a higher kavana versus lower kavana. Thank you for taking the time to explore today's Tanya together.